Alright, so we're making the Easy Drop Danish, and for the Easy Drop Danish, the first thing is the assistant cook's going to need to work together with the waiter waitress to, I believe, bookkeeper, to get the ingredients from the ingredient area. So they're going to need to get their tray ready. There's a lot of ingredients in this recipe, as we're going to see. So you're going to need to look through the ingredients and decide, okay, which ones are in the unit and which ones are not in the unit. All of these ingredients are not in the unit. Okay, the only ones that are in the unit are your flour, your white sugar, and your salt currently. There will be more in the future, but for now, those are the only three. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your tray ready with everything that you need. So 2 cups flour, we don't need to put it on the tray because it's in the unit. So it's the head cook's job. 1/2 cup granulated sugar, also in the unit. Okay, but 3 teaspoons baking powder, so we're going to need measuring spoons, and we're going to need a bowl for that. And then 1/2 teaspoon salt already in the unit. For the 1/2 cup of butter, all we need is to get, you should have a cheese knife in your utensils that looks like this. You could also use a butter knife. I just use this because it has a little edges, makes it easy to cut through, to cut the butter. And then for the egg, you don't need anything. You can just stick it on your tray. And then for the milk, you're going to need a measuring cup right here. And then for your jam or jelly, you'll need measuring spoons and another bowl. And then for your drizzle, you're going to need a bowl for the powdered sugar as well as the dry measuring cups. You're going to need a bowl for the vanilla as well as the measuring spoons. And the water is in the unit, and then you're just going to need to grab some parchment paper. So make sure that if the assistant cook has somebody helping them, the bookkeeper, to help them get all these things, because it's a lot of items. So let's go ahead and start with the measuring. So for your 3 teaspoons of baking powder, you're just going, when you're at the ingredient table, remember that teaspoon is the little one. So if you look at your set, the tablespoon is the big one. The teaspoon is the next biggest one. So if these are in order, it's like tablespoon, teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. So you're going to go to the next biggest one for your teaspoon. You're going to need 3 of those, of the teaspoons. Just put it in this little bowl. You're going to use the edge on the baking powder to level it off. If your container does not have an edge to it, you can use your straight edge spatula. I forgot to say you also got your straight edge spatula to level it off. So now we're at 2 and 3. So we have our 3 teaspoons of baking powder ready to go right there. Then the next thing on your list that you need to get is your egg. And well, I'm going to save that for the end because I want to touch it right before I leave because of the salmonella that's coated on the egg. And I need the egg to measure the milk. So we're going to jump to the 2 tablespoons of jelly or jam. You can use any flavor. If you want to bring your own jelly or jam from home, as long as it is store-bought, it is totally fine to bring. If you have your own flavor that you want to bring, that's fine. I'll probably have like raspberry. I'll probably have mixed berry. I might have grape. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons there. Okay. We're good to go. And then we're going to need the powdered sugar. If you don't measure the powdered sugar perfectly, it's okay because you're actually going to sift it back at your unit and measure it again. So we're going to find, it says 2/3, so we're going to find the 1/3 cup and we're going to do it twice because that means 2/3. Normally I'd level it off, but because we're going to sift it anyway, it doesn't matter because like I said, you're going to sift it and you're going to measure it again back at the unit. You always sift powdered sugar, always. Okay. Oops, I put the wrong thing in the wrong spot. Okay. Let's see. And then we're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Make sure you do this over the bowl so you don't spill. If you get too much, you need to do it again if you have the right amount. So I'm looking for my 1/4 teaspoon, which is not on here. There's half. Oh, I see. These measuring spoons are not right. Huh. Okay. So what I actually did for the baking powder is I got too much. I didn't realize that these measuring spoons have a 1/2 tablespoon on them. Why would somebody do that? So I'm gonna have to remeasure my baking powder. Why would somebody put a 1/2 tablespoon? These are new sets that I just got this year. Good thing I was paying attention. Okay, so I'm gonna use my teaspoon this time and do 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Then make sure you have a 1/4 teaspoon for your vanilla because you don't want to get too much. I'm gonna run back to my unit and grab a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, so I know this is the 1/4 teaspoon because it's this small. You see the difference here between the smallest one on this set is the 1/2 teaspoon. You can see there's a huge difference there. So we're gonna do the 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla here, right over the bowl. Super careful. Oops, and I spilled a little bit. Okay. All right. Got our 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And then last but not least, we just need the parchment paper for the pan. So you're just gonna grab about the amount you would use for your tray because that's about how big the pan is. And then what you do is you're gonna push firmly down on the top lid and you should be able to rip it. And now, just gotta get my egg and milk. So to do your egg and milk, you have to put the egg in the liquid measuring cup first. Then you're gonna take your milk and you're gonna fill it to the 3/4 cup line. Okay. 1/2 and your 3/4 cup line. And then you just want to check that at eye level like this to make sure it's accurate, which it is. And that's once you have all these items, you're done at the ingredient table and you can go back to your unit. So that's the end of the first section.